Alrighty, hello, my name's Gemma and today is Spring Bank Holiday in the UK, which means it's probably time for a clear out. I was over at my mother-in-law's house yesterday and like a lot of people her age, although her children are fully grown and have flown the nest, she does have quite a lot of their possessions still squirreled away or like in the garage or somewhere. Chris claims that none of his stuff is left in that house anymore, but they're definitely stuff from his siblings, which she was keen to get rid of. So she's given me some of the books to sell on to the big resellers who then list their stuff on eBay and such. In the past I have listed my own books that I want to get rid of on eBay, but I find it such a hassle. First of all, they're like waiting around for the auction to end and then getting it all sorted out with the right weight and dimensions at the post office. Our main post office is closed in Exeter, so you have to go to the one that's like within a WH Smith and queue for an eternity. So I was quite pleased when last time I had a clear out I found that I could sell them through apps like Zifit and We Buy Books, and I think there's a third one. And although you definitely don't get the same value for the books that you're selling, it was so much less hassle, particularly in terms of if you're selling heavy books with these online resellers. They have courier collections, so I just leave them out for the couriers. You know, books can start to rack up the weight and I'm too puny for that kind of thing. So anyway, Leanna passed on a couple of books. I think they used to belong to her son Mike. Quite a random selection, such as the Animated Survival Kit, a book about learning Japanese in 10 minutes a day, some books more about like animation and manga, and this one is actually the most interesting. War Posters, Weapons of Mass Communication. I think this will get the best price because it's often the niche topics where they're willing to give you a bit more for the book, because then they'll be able to sell it on to some niche collector. Honestly, I'm surprised Mike doesn't still want some of these, but he says he doesn't, so off they go. These resellers often have their own apps, so you can just scan the barcode and it'll give you a price immediately. You do have to meet like a £5 minimum worth of value in order to qualify for the courier and to like make it worth their time basically to receive and process your books. I could do that just from the books Leanna has given me, but I thought since I'm selling her books I might as well go through my bookshelves and see if there's any that that I can pass on. My bookshelves aren't quite at capacity, but they're getting close and it's good to have a clear out just now and then. I don't think I'll be getting any new bookcases anytime soon, so best to maximise what I've got at the moment. So let's go downstairs and see what I can bear to part with. I'm using a ring light for the first time ever and I'm not convinced. I think it's just reflecting off my glasses. Is that weird? Had anybody noticed that before I mentioned it? Anyway, I also now feel like I need a spirit level for the camera. I'm sure you must be crooked. Never mind. It's one of the things I have to learn to change in editing. Anyway, so I did have a think about what could be the criteria for judging whether something should be unhauled or not. Some rough rules that I'm going to try and keep in mind are: if it's part of an ongoing series, then it can stay, even if the individual book is rubbish. I might need to refer back to it. In fact, I frequently do when I'm, particularly if there's a long time between book installments. Sometimes I have to refer back to previous books, even just like skim over them and remind myself what was going on. And sometimes books are released in kind of non-chronological story order, so I like to be able to read the story chronologically by reading the books in a different order than they were released. Does that make sense? If they're 4 or 5 star, they can stay, I think. If they're part of a 5-star series, even if the series is complete, I'd like to keep them because it's the kind of thing I'd go back and reread. And then I'm sure I'll come across some which just have pure sentimental value and there's kind of no reason to keep them, but I might. Just see how it goes. I'm kind of winging it. The top shelf is kind of mysteries and crime stories that aren't part of a series. So potentials for decluttering here are The Maid by Nita Prose. I have to look up how much I gave that book. The 8 Detectives by Alex Pavesi. This had such great hopes for and high potential, but it just didn't live up to what I wanted it to be. I'm not sure if I'll keep hold of Murder Book by Hilary Fitzgerald Campbell. This is a graphic novel memoir about someone who's obsessed with true crime stories. Probably won't keep The Sinking Admiral in the long term because I didn't like it, but I also can't give it to the resellers because even though I paid like £6 for it, the dust jacket is damaged, so they won't accept it. I'll probably have to end up donating it at some point, but probably after repairing. I will get rid of Once Upon a Crime. I'm tempted to keep the books that I use for Fat Cat Detective videos that solve along ones, just to have like a physical record of these videos. But I don't know, that's definitely keeping books for sentimental reasons, not practical ones. Must admit, sometimes the determining factor about whether to keep a book or not is whether the resellers will offer me any money for it. If I was truly decluttering, I would get rid of them anyway. I'd just like take them to a charity shop or something. But because my shelves aren't that full, I sort of don't feel there's any huge urgent need to clear out the shelves. Is that counterproductive? I don't know. Now we've got some of the Firefly books, as in the cancelled TV show. I was thinking the other day, I don't think I'm going to keep these, unfortunately. The story wasn't really captivating me anymore, so I don't think I'll reread these. I'll see if I can get any money for them. These are the kind of things which would appeal to a collector. And then with the novels, or the novelizations, or whatever they're called, I've got this one and I've got two more upstairs. I'm kind of inclined to hold on to this until I've read the other two. But I don't remember anything about it or it being any particularly interesting. Which is a pity because I did love the TV show when it was out. I also have some random bits and bobs. Some postcards and a sticker. And then a fabric patch for the Independents. I've got this like foam core figurine of Serenity. I used to have one of the big Alliance ships as well, which I did actually make up, but it was quite delicate and fell apart, which is why I didn't make this one up. What else have I got? An adult colouring book. This was a gift. I wouldn't normally buy colouring books. As you can tell by the fact that I haven't done any colouring in it. And then, how did I get this? It was a crowdfunder or something. It's a collection of photos that the actor Nathan Fillion took, well, there he is, whilst they were filming Firefly. Just like of the sets and the makeup artist, all sorts. That is the kind of thing that might be worth reselling on eBay myself, because a really serious collector might want to pay for it. Then we've got Rivers of London series. That's an ongoing series and it's a 5-star series, so it's staying. But the question is, do I keep hold of the graphic novels? It's a tough one because they do add small points to the overall chronology of the story, and sometimes the main books do refer back to things that have happened in the graphic novels and only in the graphic novels. So they definitely add to the overall world building events timeline. But they're quite expensive, even though they're small, and graphic novels often are. I'm not really a fan of the art. And I couldn't even particularly tell you why. The depiction of Molly in particular, I find off-putting. They're the kind of thing that if my library had them, I'd definitely borrow them to fill in the gaps in the story, but I don't feel the need to own them. But again, it might be dependent on if the resellers actually offer me anything for them. They're not doing any harm sitting on my shelf. I might refer back to them. Not sure I ever have, but am I an optimist? Yes. Then we come down to other fantasy books. I think I will pass this one on. It's called Travelling with Your Octopus. It's completely the wrong shape for my bookcase. and it's super cute. I really like the art, but I've never read any of the others in the series. I think I just came across it in a bookstore and thought, octopus, cool, and went with that. The final shelf is a bit more Discworld books, but these are more than like reference books. I'm honestly not sure if I should keep them because I've got two called the Discworld Companion. Well, this is the new Discworld Companion, but okay, great. Do I need them? Got the Globe, which is the science of Discworld. I don't think I've ever read that. And then I have Science of Discworld 4. So I've got 2 and 4, but not 1 and 3. I'll have a look and see if the resellers can give me anything for these, because I just don't refer to them. I don't use them. They're just taking up room. This part of the shelf is quick and easy because they are series, ongoing series that I intend to continue, so staying where they are. This part is contemporary fiction. I'll be honest, I'm probably never going to reread The Project. Though I'm not sure the resellers will give me much for it anyway, because anything mass market they don't tend to pay a lot for because they've got so many coming in. They don't need to. I'm not sure if I'd read Where'd You Go, Bernadette, but I feel feeling I read that this year. Oh no, it was October last year. God, my memory is terrible, so yeah. I recently recovered this from my dad's garage, talking about adult children clearing out their parents' storage facilities. And I do want to reread it too. So it's staying for now. I'm never going to reread Without You, There Is No Us. It was kind of interesting because it's about a teacher from America working at a school in North Korea. But I found it wasn't quite what I expected or what I wanted. Then there's some like 4 and 5 stars that I'll keep hold of. A book that used to belong to my grandfather, which I'll keep for purely sentimental reasons because I tried reading it and it was quite boring. Never mind. Lauren, if you're watching this, I've still got this book that you gave me. They've all fallen over back here, but I think I might pass on A Rhyming History of Britain. And also Journal of the Dead. It's really weird and interesting, but again, I don't think I'll reread it. I think somebody else should read it. Actually, I might see if the resellers will give me anything for these. These again were in storage at my dad's house for a long time, so I haven't read them in ages, but the kind of literary criticism of the Sandman graphic novels. Maybe they'll be worth something to the resellers because of the TV show. Who knows? So these are my End of the World Reading Club books. I should be able to sort through some of these. So are there any here that aren't 4 or 5 stars? Maybe... When did I read this? Was that this year? Red River 7. Yeah, December last year. So that can go. I don't feel the need to keep Cabin at the End of the World or The Girl in Red. I'm so behind on reading from this book box. I really need to desperately catch up. Then this shelf is standalone fantasy and sci-fi. I don't think I'll reread Norse mythology. I think the other Neil Gaiman's I would. Also have a CD of music signed by him. What am I going to do with that? Do I even have a CD player? This one I'm torn about. I didn't think it was amazing. Can't remember what rating I gave it. But when it's a special edition like this, are the resellers going to give me anything? I'll have a look. See what they say, but I won't get my hopes up. Well, the fact that I didn't even know this was back there should indicate that I should get rid of it. But again, it's a Waterstones special edition. We'll have a look on the resellers. Special edition, Waterstones edition. We'll see what they say. The reason I have so many TJ Klune is I really loved The House in the Cerulean Sea. This is the only one I don't have a special edition of. It's not even a hardback, but based on this, I keep buying his other books, none of which quite live up to what I would like. What do you do about anthologies? Like, some of these were great and some of them were terrible. Ooh, I'm not sure how I feel about this one. This story kind of haunts me. Can't say I loved it, can't say I hated it. It's just, what a story. Can't make my mind up about if I'll ever reread this again. I don't think I'll keep this. I don't think I'll reread it. Will I? God, I don't know. I can't decide. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, I'll be honest, this is much more books than I expected at unhaul, but I've been quite ruthless with myself. Let's see if the resellers will actually give me anything for them. Alright, and now begins the tedious process of finding out if the resellers will actually offer me any pennies for this bountiful collection. Item not found. Off to a great start. Okay. 15 pence. 12 pence. Ooh, 33 pence. £1.41. Not bad. I won't update you for every single one, but you get the idea. Oh, interesting, it has flagged this up as being a Waterstones special edition and offered me 12 pence for it. I've got my first sorry we're not buying this item at the moment for the new Discworld companion. Okay, so that is 5 books that they're not buying at the moment. 4 that they didn't pick up the ISBN, so that it doesn't know what it is. And the rest, whole variety of prices. What was the most valuable one? This Serenity graphic novel, No Power in the Verse, was £4.20, which is a lot for an individual book. But the boxed set of the Rivers of London graphic novels was £4.54, so just a little bit more. And then of Leanna's books, Tekken Kincrete Volume 1 was £4.75, and lots of them are around this sort of 15 pence guideline. So having done all that, I need to see if Ziffit will offer me more money than We Buy Books. This is where you have to be willing to put in a bit of time to try and maximise every last pence, but we'll see how it goes. This is a ridiculous angle, but I can't think of a better one to show what I've done. So just organise them into 2 different piles for the 2 different resellers. So overall, the We Buy Books pile is 24 items, coming to £32.26. And the Ziffit pile is 18 items, coming to £27.60. Both of them together come to £53.77. So that's my books and Leanna's. There's no logic or rhyme or reason as to which seller accepts which books. Like 2 of the Firefly graphic novels are here and the remaining 3 are over here. 2 of the Rivers of London graphic novels are here and the box set is over here. You would think that both companies would be running off the same algorithm or system or whatever, but no, you can never guess which is going to be which. Anyway, so that is a total of 41 books leaving the house. Obviously not all of them were mine to begin with, but it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from Leanna's house, I think. So 32 of my books I'm unhauling. So yeah, nice little clear out, nice little spring clean to reset for heading into summer. I haven't done much reading this month because we were in Japan for 3 weeks, so I didn't get much reading done. So I won't be adding to the shelves downstairs very much this month at all. But theoretically, there's now plenty of space for me to replenish all the series and the 4 and 5 stars. They're more reflective of my current tastes. Thanks very much for joining me. Sorry I'm ending on a weird angle, but it is what it is. I hope you have a good week.